Good morning, everybody. It's your girl Miracle Sims, and you're listening to God, Sex, and Love. Your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. It is Monday, y'all. So happy Monday. It's September the 9th, 2024, and today the topic is making assumptions. Again, happy Monday. I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. Mine was just fine. Yes, mine was good overall. I almost forgot what I did this weekend because I was like, man, time is flying. The weekends are getting full. Like, so many things going on. And y'all know how the fall season is for the old Happy Saves crew. So, man, you know what I mean? There's a lot of things going on. However, right before I went live, I got reminded of what took place this weekend. And those that tuned in on Saturday morning, y'all know that your girl was at a retreat and everything like that. And the weekend was really, really good, y'all. It was nice to have a change of scenery, even for just one overnight situation. But, the lands and property was really, really beautiful. I wish, the only thing I would say about the retreat aside from it being a little bit longer, I wish that we had like downtime to just kind of woosah. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it was very jam packed with like, I guess you would say with activity. Um, don't get me wrong now, everything that we were receiving at the conference or the retreat was good. You know, a lot of good wisdom, knowledge, ideas, um, game ideas for the kids, outline ideas, just really good stuff for kid ministry, and then pouring into each other as well. That was a beautiful moment of prayer. Um, and I mean, they even had the girl on stage at one point, use a little bit of my acting chops and whatnot. So, it was a good experience, man, and I'm grateful for it. So, shout out to Mountain West for again providing another amazing opportunity for your girl to get poured into and I guess to get trained up, right, in this leadership journey that I am on. Speaking of that, yesterday was a Sunday. I did get a chance to go sit a service, so that was good. So I worked two, sat one. Um, I wasn't able to really incorporate much of what I received over the weekend because someone else was teaching, but I do. Why I guess I am on the schedule to teach today, so I'm gonna see what I can do, with the message that I give the kids and like how much I can incorporate from what I received. And I'm also gonna talk to, my coworker and whatnot and figure out like what other things we can do to implement what I received over the weekend and hopefully enhance our experience at the church with the kids and everything like that. Because one thing that I was really, really noticing and really, really, I guess, taking in over the weekend is how important discipleship is. Um, how important it is for just the one-to-one, you know what I'm saying? The one-to-one mentorship and accountability and things of that nature, the discipleship journey. Um, yeah. So, and I mean, I know that it can take place in a variety of ways because obviously, I guess parents are discipling their children, and things of that nature. But I feel like a lot of us are we're growing up, right, and we are not being discipled, and we can see the results of what that looks like and the disservice that is. And so, again, I'm thinking about ways to do my part. Y'all already know that I've switched up a lot of different things and I have content to create and things of that nature as cultivation coach miracle. And I guess I can see now how that is going to, I guess, add something to the kingdom in regards to discipleship, at least perhaps of single women, you know what I mean? And then we'll go from there. Because y'all know I got to look represent as the married woman as well now and the issues that, come with that. Um, so don't get me wrong. I believe that, I guess, the God, Sex, and Love journey, brand, whatever you want to consider it to be, movement, um, will continue if the Lord's will. That is my intention. Um, However, too, I believe that with all this leadership training that I'm getting and with all of this, you know, um, getting ready to embark on this new journey of, putting myself out there as a coach and things of that nature, like formally, right? But I just hope and pray that, the people that are in my circle of influence will be encouraged, inspired towards their purpose, and, I guess trained up to be, whoever God has called them to be and things of that nature. So we're going to see what the Lord do with all of that. But that's what my weekend looked like in a nutshell. So here I am this Monday morning, y'all, with some juice, making assumptions. So, I can't say that there was something in particular that brought this topic to my heart and mind. I would say that, basically I listened to the prayer meditation. After I did that, I was just scrolling on social media, things of that nature. And as I was doing that, at some point, the phrase making assumptions came into my heart and mind. And so, or just maybe the word assumptions. And, I thought about it and I was like, okay. Now, my first thought was this idea of making assumptions that people want Christ. You know what I'm saying? Making assumptions that people want love. Because the thing is, I think from what I'm seeing, right, it seems like people don't want those things, right? They don't value those things. Because if they did, then they would make whatever necessary changes or whatever the case may be to then get those things that they want, right? At least that's what happened with me. So when I first came up with this word assumptions came into my heart and mind, I was like, okay, Lord, well, am I assuming that people want love? Am I assuming that? Shout out to my family this morning. You have a wonderful day, my love. Be safe. Come back home to me, please, and thank you. Yes, ma'am. And good morning, son. But yeah, so, am I assuming these things? Am I making assumptions about people that they want these things? Because again, the proof is in the pudding, right? It don't seem like they do, and everything like that. And so I took that question to the chatholybible.com app, and I was like, what am I supposed to do as somebody that's trying to, do the Great Commission X, Y, and Z? And it seems as if, people don't really want the things that I'm willing to share and, things of that nature. Like, maybe I'm assuming that these ladies want love. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they don't. Maybe they fine being single. Like, maybe they don't want, marriage or things of that nature. Like, maybe I'm making assumptions, And so what am I supposed to do? I'm, with the Great Commission, that's X, Y, and Z, sharing the gospel. What am I supposed to do if the people don't want it? Now, one, I believe that the Lord, through the chatholybible.com app, was humbling me, right, to remind me that regardless of the people's responses, right, I still need to be obedient, right? I still need to either water or plant whatever the seeds are that God is planting and doing through me, right? And then from there, it's up to them to receive, right? It's up to them to, accept the gift, right, that God has given each and every one of us. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, okay, I'm gonna humble myself. You right, Lord, you right. And so, and then I was getting my verses and whatnot. And then after that, friends, the other thing that came into my heart and mind, was to not assume that people don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't assume that people don't want Christ. At the end of the day, again, I know it's easy to make that assumption because, again, we look all around the world. People, it seems like people are, very bold and brazen about, not caring about things of God. And so we can assume that the majority don't want the Lord. However, I mean, and that may be true to a certain extent as well, because I mean, it's, the Bible's clear about, basically that, the the way towards, the enemy X, Y, and Z is wide, right? And narrow is the way of those that believe and want to follow Christ. So I guess when you see that, you do see that the numbers are saying, that the numbers, that majority of the people don't, right, want the Lord and things of that nature, or to do his will, his way, or they want to be their own gods, which that was another thing. I shared some different videos and whatnot that I came across last night where I think it's Pastor Cliff he's someone that goes to different like college campuses and have these conversations and whatnot, and people will come up and like there was one young lady so brazen and bold multiple times said that she feels like she is God or she is her own God and things of that nature. And it just was like, again, like we want to be God, but we ain't did nothing God like. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Like, what makes you feel like you're God? Like, you can't even like create. You know what I'm saying? Like, can you create another planet or something like that? Like, come on. Like, there's nothing God like. I mean, we are made in God's image, right? And I even received today that we are the temple of God and things of that nature. But actual God, come on, man. Let's humble yourself, right? But anyway, so with people like that, right, all around us, you can easily think, well, what am I out here doing? Nobody wants this message, you know what I'm saying? And things of that nature. But you never know, right? There can be somebody in your circle of influence that do, right? That is out here seeking love, that is out here, trying to fill that God void with everything else because they don't know Christ. They don't know, you know, they don't have the clear understanding of the gospel message in X, Y, and Z. So, just like we can't assume that everybody wants it, right? We can't assume that everybody don't want it. So here we go. Let me give you guys some Bible, outside of my personal opinions and whatnot that I just shared. Let me share with you guys what the what am I saying here? Notes and whatnot. So let me talk about this definition of assume real quick. It says supposed to be the case without proof. You suppose it to be the case without proof. At the end of the day, again, there's no proof that your sister, brother, cousin, mother, father, anybody in your circle of influence, friend, don't want Christ. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, now I know we can assume that based on the way they live and things of that nature. But remember, friend, look, all have sinned and fallen short. Even you, even me. So again, like, let's not assume that they don't want Christ. Matter of fact, maybe we should go into it with the assumption that they do, right? That they have the hope and the faith that, you know what, I'm going to do my part and share, right? I'm going to do my part, plant the seed, water the seed, and I guess get out of the habit. And this is something I'm telling myself: get out of the habit of wanting to, see the seed flourishing. You know what I'm saying? Like, that might not be your calling to see whatever seed that you planted and poured into X, Y, and Z to flourish. That may not be your part. We're gonna talk about it, okay? But you know what I'm saying? Like, don't expect to see the seed flourish. Like, at the end of the day, again, that's God's part right there. You know what I mean? The seed growing, flourishing, and all that type of stuff. It could just be, again, your part to plant, to water, to do your part, and let that be that. And so, again, everybody has their own, response to the gospel message, right? They may not respond right now, but maybe years from now, who knows? If they get that chance and that opportunity, they may receive the gift that God is giving to us. So, like, yes, get out of the habit of assuming, right? Get out of the habit of expecting to see the fruit in the harvest. Because again, look, man, plenty of biblical figures did not see the promise, quote unquote. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I mean, now maybe Abraham is witnessing all the multitude and whatnot now from heaven, right? But when he received that, like, he barely had the first son. You know what I'm saying? Like, they was trying to make their own way to make it happen. You know what I'm saying? Because they did not see it. You know what I mean? And then even when he did get the son, then God asked him to sacrifice. So then that's another whole thing that he had to really step out on faith to say, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and do this and be obedient. Even though I don't understand this, I don't see this, and things of that nature. And so, I'm talking to myself today. Hopefully I'm encouraging and inspiring you as well, that you may not see the promise, friends, and that's okay. Just do your part, right? Do your part. So let me give you some Bible. So Proverbs 18:13, it says, if one gives an answer before he hears, it is folly and shame. I know it's so easy to do that, y'all. It's so easy to say, you know what, man, they don't want God. They don't want love. They don't want marriage. They don't want none of that stuff. You know what I mean? Like, it's easy to look around and say that about people. But at the end of the day, like, what if somebody said that about you? You know what I'm saying? Like, what if somebody, in your down seasons, in your down moments, looked at you and said, nah, there ain't no hope for that person. God don't do that, so why do we do that to one another? Stop, man. Stop making assumptions. You know what I'm saying? The least that we could do is go ask. Like, I was sitting here thinking about like some of the individuals and whatnot, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should stop making assumptions that about this or that, right? And like, just go ask. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, what is it that where are you in your life? Like, what is it that you're looking for? Like, some of my single homegirls, like, hey, do you want to be married? Stuff like that. Like, ask the questions. You don't know. They might be fine. You know what I mean? Like, oh no, I'm not necessarily thinking about it. X, Y, and Z. Or they might be, man, girl, I'm glad you asked. Yes, I'm looking for love. You know what I mean? Like, stop making assumptions about people that without proof, man. You don't know, man, at the end of the day. And even if you think you got the proof, right? Even if you think, well, I know, because they ain't doing this and they ain't doing that, X, Y, Z. You don't know. Stop making assumptions. Just stop. Just stop. Just go into things with an open mind, open heart, and with love, the way that God do. You know what I'm saying? And then from there, get to know people and see. You know what I'm saying? And if there's something that you can do to assist, cool. If not, just do your part. Do whatever it is. Maybe just asking could be that thing that they needed. You know what I'm saying? To think about it, to, again, plant that seed, water that seed. So, just throwing it out there, y'all. Let's not, again, have folly and shame. At the end of the day, again, let's ask the questions. You know what I'm saying? And not just assume that we know the answers. Now, here we go. Proverbs 18:2. It says, a fool takes no pleasure in understanding, but only in expressing his opinion. How many of us do that? Y'all probably feel like, well, Miracle, you doing that right now. Well, I mean, no, I try my best to try to understand people. And I say this all the time. And those that truly, truly know me, like my husband and my brother Kelvin, and like maybe even Miss D, my mentor, and people like that, like they know I say this all the time. I'm like, I'm trying to understand. Like, I'm trying to understand people. I thought I might have been a good therapist or psychiatrist or something, because I'm like, I really have a like desire to understand like why we do what we do, say what we say, and why we are the way we are, and people and things of that nature. And so, especially people that respond to things differently from me, I'm like, I wonder why. You know what I'm saying? I wonder why they do that. You know what I'm saying? Now, I ain't no therapist, ain't no psychiatrist, X, Y, and Z, but I am who I am. You know what I'm saying? I am who God created me to be. And I think that is one of those things that helped me, I guess, when it comes to acting and things of that nature. Because, again, you're observing people, you seeing what makes them tick, all that type of stuff. And you're portraying those things to become someone else in those moments as a performer. So, I mean, that has helped me in that way. And then I guess it helps me to, I guess, give grace and mercy to people, and to listen to people, and with the talk show and all these different things that God is using. I guess that gives desire to understand. But yeah, man, let's not just, again, let's not assume, and let's not go into situations just only wanting to express your opinion. Like, you can listen to someone else's opinion. It's okay. At the end of the day, it doesn't have to influence you. Now, if you ain't strong enough to stand on your own opinion, then maybe you don't need to be, wait until you strong enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, wait until you, feel the Holy Spirit, whatever it is, and make you, able to stand for what you believe. And then maybe you can, like, hear more opinions, and you can go into situations strong, right? But yeah, because like I said, like, I know a lot of times, for example, even here with GSL, there's people that, they inquire about being on the show, and I'll be open honest about, hey man, this is, Christian Bible based, platform, X, Y, and Z. And then they're like, oh, well, I'm not Christian. Am I still allowed, or whatever the case may be? And I'm like, hey, all are welcome on here. Just as long as you understand, you know what I mean? I'm going to respect you and your opinions. I pray that you respect me and my opinions. And hey, we can come to have a conversation. I ain't going to look down on you just because you don't believe, or whatever the case may be. Like, who knows? You know what I'm saying? Like, who knows what the Lord is going to do. But my whole thing is, I can have a conversation with somebody that differs of opinion. You know what I mean? Like, I can, again, respectfully agree to disagree. And that's, I think, one of the things that are causing a big issue in this world. Like, it seems like not many people are willing to do that. Like, not many people are like understanding that, you can love somebody without agreeing with everything they do. You know what I'm saying? You can, and supporting everything they do, right? You can have a conversation and hear another opinion without getting mad. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, again, you can see all these things on social media and just scroll on by and go on about your day. Like, you ain't got to like get into no heavy debates with people about what they believe at the end of the day. Like, hey, everybody got free will out here. It's a God-given gift at this point. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I mean, who am I to come and say, now at the end of the day, if you come to me, right, you come to me for my opinion, and you're like, do you think I'm wrong? Well, I mean, I have to stand and say, hey, well, I believe the Bible says this, and so yeah, I mean, by default, that would mean you're wrong. But hey, man, we're living this thing out. I die, or whatever the case may be, and we'll go from there. Like, at the end of the day, hey, you can still believe whatever you want to believe. I ain't gonna treat you no differently, or whatever the case may be, unless you come for me or my family, or you know what I'm saying, or something like that. I might have to, close the door, or whatever the case may be. But outside of that, I mean, if you treat me with respect, I'm gonna treat you with respect, regardless of your race, your religion, your gender, any of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, do what you do. You got free will. I'm not gonna agree with everything you do. I'm not gonna support everything you do. But I always would say that, hey, man, you're a human and you got the right to do it, or you got the free will to do it. You know what I'm saying? So, but if you ask me my opinions about it, then I'll be like, hey, man, I don't think everything that we do is for the best. And that's biblical. You know what I'm saying? So hey, so it ain't all about just, again, expressing your own opinion, right? At the end of the day, again, come to conversations, get to know people, and, get an understanding. All right. So that's all I felt led to share in regards to verses and whatnot. I mean, I hope that this encourages you, inspires you. You guys can go deeper. There's plenty of other verses that you can peruse and let marinate on your heart, souls, and minds. But the Bible verse of today is 1 Corinthians 3:16. It says, know ye not that ye are the temple of God, and that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you. Friends, I hope you all enjoyed this juice this morning. Thank you so much for listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration and juice. I pray you guys can go forth and have a wonderful day, and I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Bye-bye.